On the court, basketball stars amaze fans with their speed and skills, but sometimes players can't reach their full potential because of other things. People who seemed like they were going to be great were brought down by injuries, which can change the course of a career. Yes, players can get better after getting hurt. Most of the time, though, they are not the same. First, Sean Livingston and Anthony Penny Hardaway. When he went from high school to the NBA, he was a 6'7" playmaker with great length and speed. During his first 3 seasons, he showed he could be an all-star, but during his 3rd season, when he was 21 years old, Livingston got a terrible knee injury. People thought he might have to have his leg amputated and never walk again. But after many years of rehab, Livingston not only got the strength back in his knee, but also went back to playing basketball. After the injury, Livingston changed his life and became a key reserve player for the Warriors during their last 3 NBA championships.
As I said, he came into his own last year.
Sean getting that rhythm and hitting the jumper.
Dribble penetration and driving kicks anytime you get to the middle of the floor, and here is Sean Livingston with an amazing shot off
the Warriors picked Hardaway with the 3rd overall pick in the 1993 NBA draft. However, he is best known for being traded to the Orlando Magic, along with several other picks, for Chris Webber. Penny became a star almost right away. Hardaway was a playmaking machine. After his rookie year, he made 4 straight All-Star teams and was compared to Magic Johnson.
What?
Here's Hardaway. Posterized here at the arena. Those kneecap. Now Penny behind the back to Shaq. He'll dipsy do.
His legs started to get worse, and slowly so did his game. Hardaway played until he was 36, but after his last All-Star game, he only played in more than 70 games twice. For the rest of his career, he kept getting hurt and had a hard time getting better. Next, Grant Hill and Yao Ming. Before the Detroit Pistons picked him with the 3rd overall pick in the 1994 NBA draft, Hill was a college star at Duke. There was a lot of hope that Hill would become a star in the league, and he did that right away, and then some. In his first 7 seasons, he was named Rookie of the Year and went to 6 All-Star games. The 6'8" small forward played like a pseudo point forward who could score, grab rebounds, and set up his teammates. In his first 6 seasons, Hill averaged 21.6 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game.
Bragging rights at the moment belong to Hill in the Heat's house, and the dynamite dunk right down the pipe.
After Hill broke his ankle during his 7th NBA season, he was never the same. He still had some good years. He played until he was 40, and his career was good enough to get him into the Hall of Fame. Still, many people still think about what could have been. Yao Ming made 5 All-NBA teams and played in the All-Star game every season when he was healthy. The annual flood of votes from China helped, but his career was over at age 30. The 7'6" center has career averages of 19 points, 9.2 rebounds, and 1.9 blocks. When he came from China for the 2002-2003 season, he was a real show. It was clear right away that the Houston Rockets had a lot more on their hands than just the next Sean Bradley. Yao wasn't a stiff shot-blocking oddity. Instead, he was a skilled high-post weapon with good touch and vision. In 2003-2004 and 2004-2005, he was a key part of top 5 defenses. If Yao were playing today, he would have almost certainly been told to shoot from deep. He made 83.3% of his shots from the free throw line over the course of his career. Even though he never took many shots from the outside, he still made 36.6% of his shots from 16 to 23 feet. Yao could have made 3-point shots if it had been important for centers in the early 2000s.
Rick Carlisle and Flip Saunders earlier today, and they said, and both you guys can relate to this, as you have both coached all-star teams. Yao Ming with the slam, the toughest.
After his 3rd season, Yao had problems with his feet, back, and knees. He never played more than 57 games in a season after 2005, except for the 77 games he played in 2008-2009. He didn't play at all during the 2009-10 season, and in his last year, 2010-11, he only played in 5 games. And that was the end. Moving on, Danny Granger and Brandon Roy. Danny Granger is not the most famous person in the world. Granger won the NBA Most Improved Player Award in 2009. He averaged 25.8 PPG and shot 40% from the 3-point range. His game was built around his jump shot, which, along with his length, made him hard for shorter players to guard. He was like the model for long wings like Paul George or Brandon Ingram, who are valued in the NBA today. Granger was also good on defense. His length helped him block shots and make things hard for the offense. Granger's game was mostly based on his length and skill, and not so much on his athleticism. Even though his game was made for the NBA, he didn't make it there. Granger's average score dropped every year after he won MIP. and he had problems with his knees. That led to patellar tendinosis, which meant he had to have surgery and couldn't get better. He finally quit playing in the NBA at the age of 31, which is pretty young for an NBA player. Most people won't remember Granger, but he was a shot-creating wing, a type of player that is highly valued in the NBA today. Granger didn't make it to the NBA in the modern era, but if you want to see how he would have done, all you have to do is watch Paul George play. Roy quickly became well-known after the Portland Trail Blazers picked him with the 6th overall pick in 2006. He won the Rookie of the Year award and then went on to play in 3 straight All-Star games. Roy was the best all-around shooting guard because he was strong and stood 6 foot 6 inches tall. He could shoot well and make plays, and he was on his way to becoming one of the best players in the NBA before a degenerative knee condition took away his ability to play at the highest level. Roy quit the NBA after 5 years. In 2012, the Seattle native tried to make a comeback by joining the Minnesota Timberwolves, but Roy only played 5 games with the T-Wolves. After that, he was done with basketball for good. Next up, Derrick Rose and Greg Oden. Being the first pick in the NBA draft always comes with a lot of pressure, but Rose delivered right away. In his first 4 years with the Chicago Bulls, he won Rookie of the Year, was MVP, and played in 3 All-Star games. The Bulls were on track to be a powerhouse in the Eastern Conference, but a torn ACL crushed all those hopes.
Harder team in Miami. Rose came down bad on his left foot. See him holding onto his knee. Holding on to his knee and down.
His recovery turned into a big mess that got a lot of attention. He kept getting hurt, which made fans unfairly criticize Rose's effort and toughness. Since leaving the Bulls, Rose has slowly re-established himself as a scoring spark plug off the bench. In the last 2 seasons, he's averaged at least 18 points per game as a bench player. He's not as exciting as he was in Chicago, but Rose has given his career a new start.
Jennings, MVP.
chance. First free throw for Derrick. I think that was a smile, too.
In 2007, when Oden was picked before Kevin Durant, he had to deal with a lot of pressure and high expectations. At Ohio State, Oden was a monster. When he played against kids, he looked like an adult. Along with Roy, the Blazers were looking for a center to make their team stronger. Roy had a few good seasons before his health problems got too bad, but Oden's career never even got to start. He didn't play at all his first year because of knee problems, and he only got to play in 82 games over the next 2 seasons because of injuries. Oden didn't play at all for the next 3 seasons. In 2013-14, he tried to come back to the NBA with the Miami Heat, but it didn't work out. Finally, Jay Williams and Chris Bosh. Most younger basketball fans know Williams as a controversial NBA analyst, but he was once a star college player at Duke and was picked 2nd overall in the 2002 NBA draft. Williams' first season was rough, but he showed a lot of promise and seemed destined for a successful career. But Williams never reached those heights. He was in a motorcycle accident that hurt his legs so badly that he could never play in another NBA game.
I hit a utility pole going 70 miles per hour, and next thing you know, I was in the hospital for over 2.5 months.
And your career was over?
Yeah, pretty much at that given moment. I mean, I tried to come back and play for a little bit, but I couldn't do it at the same level that I was at. But, you know, my thing is accidents happen in life, and I really think I'm better for it.
Bosh gave the Toronto Raptors exactly what they wanted when they picked him 4th in the 2003 NBA draft, which was one of the best ever. He was the perfect big man for the modern game because he could spread the floor and still be a force inside. Bosh was also a good defender who didn't get enough credit. He protected the rim and was able to switch to smaller opponents and hold his own. Many people will remember him as the 3rd member of the Big Three in Miami. Behind LeBron James and Dwayne Wade, he was kind of the unsung hero. But Bosh has a Hall of Fame resume. He has been an All-Star 11 times and won 2 championships. Still, we all wonder what else Bosh could have done if he hadn't had a condition that caused his blood to clot and cut his career short. Bosh would have been considered one of the best power forwards of all time if he had kept playing at such a high level for a few more years. It seems like he should be no matter what. Well, that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time, cheers.